Okay, so just like we talked about in the previous videos, we are going to continue factoring polynomials, and there are several processes that we can use to do that and several different things. And so what I'm giving you is a factoring map, and that map is going to kind of give us a guideline for how to factor different types of polynomials. So we start by taking a polynomial and we're going to put it into this this factoring machine is what we're going to kind of think about it as. You always want to simplify first, so if there's anything that needs to be combined or multiplied out or distributed or anything like that, we want to go ahead and simplify it. Get everything into this simplest standard form that we can get it into. Rearrange it if it's not already in standard form, and then you're going to remove that GCF, which is what we learned how to do in the last couple of videos. We're going to make sure that it's as simple as we can. Pull out the GCF, that greatest common factor, and work with what is left over. Okay. Once you've pulled out that greatest common factor and simplified and rearranged and done everything, and you're left with a polynomial, you should be left with either a binomial, a trinomial, or a four-term polynomial. Okay. And so there are different methods that we're going to learn how to do. And so if it's a binomial, if it's a difference of squares, there's a way to do it. If it's a difference of cubes or a sum of cubes, there are different processes, and we're going to learn each of those processes. If you're left with a trinomial, you'll do a factor test to find out if it can be factored, and then you'll use the backwards FOIL method. And if it's a four-term polynomial, we'll use grouping, which is actually a part of the backwards FOIL method, so you'll have already learned that. So we'll just kind of work our way through these over the next couple of weeks so that you have all the tools that you need in your belt to be able to factor a polynomial. Okay, the other thing to remember is that you always want to repeat the processes as needed. So when your powers are 1, you're probably done. So if you get through here and you realize that something's a difference of squares and you factor it, but then you're left with something that has still a higher exponent, an exponent of 2 or 4 or 5, then we want to go and take that same polynomial and run it back through this whole process again. Simplify, rearrange, remove the greatest common factor, and then whatever you're left with, check to see if it can be factored again. Okay? And when your powers are 1, you're probably done. Sometimes you'll be done before that, but we just want to make sure that you've worked through it as many times as you can and factored it as far as it can be factored. Okay? And your final thing, and this is the most important thing, is right here. Always prove your answer. Always make sure that when you multiply it back out, it comes out to be that original problem that you started with. Make sure that your factors work. Okay, so that's always really, really important that we do that. We want to always prove your answer. So this is the map that you're going to use. We're going to use it constantly, so always have it near you for the next couple of weeks. You want to keep it right there beside you so that you've got it and you know the processes that we're going to follow.